Teddy Roosevelt was born October 27th, 1858. What would the world look like if he was never born?
Out of the paranormal news, according to some experts, some of our dreams may be glimpses into parallel universes. What are the implications of this? If each glimpse into the somnific nightscape were actually a window into another you, another world.
Interesting topic, Ricky. This is Spiritus Holographica. I am Wolfman, and this is
Ricky Bearhart here.
And on tonight's podcast, we discuss these two topics. And for starters, Teddy Roosevelt was very instrumental against the corporations and big business and everything else because he was against the different monopolies that were taking place.
Sounds like a great fellow.
But a lot of things were going on at the time, and what would have happened if he never existed?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but if he, monopoly, there's so much monopolistic business today, and so much centralized power, that I can't imagine there being any more, So, if he had some influence in stalling the inevitable, our entire lives would probably be different if they could fleece the way they do now. Imagine if they could do that 50 years ago. Who knows what the implications are.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was against the labor of the people, which means there was harsh labor for the people back then.
Imagine it was reform of labor laws and stuff like that. I'm not entirely familiar. I hear he was a very unique, very respectable guy. I also heard he was into hunting and wrestling and boxing and, certainly such a strong personality. The absence of something like that from his time in political history, it would be felt in a variety of ways. Who knows in what sort of country, what sort of globalism we would have today were it not for him.
You would think the absence of one person would have caused a chain reaction.
It could very well be.
Monopolies would have ran rapid in the 1900s. Work labor would have gotten worse. And then when we went into World War I and World War II, you never know.
Well,
Social Security and stuff like that.
Well, he was before the Fed. So again, we're dealing with monopolies. The Federal Reserve is only $1. It comes from them. The currency is monopolized today. I wonder how Teddy Roosevelt would have felt about that.
He wouldn't have thought likely with that.
Very likely not. So, this is off of my paranormal news app. It says uncategorized the story. According to scientists, whatever that means, I said the word experts before because I'm like, I guess, I agree, but most scientists would probably be like, what test is verifying that? According to scientists, some of our dreams may be glimpses into parallel universes. In this world, there could be a copy of yourself making different decisions and seeing places that somehow later manifest themselves in your dreams. For thousands of years, people have wondered about the meaning of dreams, which reminds me of another show on the Joseph Vivaldi Network.
Yes, the show is as of this recording, the show is coming soon or it's already out. And it's called Journal of Dreamscapes.
Yeah, I did some trial runs with Wolfman, and it promises to be a really cool exploration of iconic imagery, universal, elemental, dream analysis. It seems like it's going to be fun. But they've been wondering about the meaning of dreams for thousands of years, the article goes on to say, and I certainly am curious about dreams. Why do some people dream about future events? Why are some dreams full of hidden meaning? It's very easy for someone to say right away, well, people dream about future events, as though it were preposterous. But unfortunately, I want to say it isn't that it's unfortunate, but it's not so easily dismissed. I mean, I myself have pointed out some strange events in consciousness in my writings. The hard deja vu. All right, the fact that according to quantum mechanics, space-time is a simultaneous event, according to a lot of cosmologists and quantum physicists. And within that span, what we call linear awareness, our now, our conscious now. I mean, it's illusory. Like, I'm not devaluing the experience, but according to them, the idea of looking forward in consciousness is really not impossible. It just doesn't happen every day, and we wouldn't understand how to do it. But that doesn't mean that it's not within the realm of possibilities. I myself, in my experience, have had at least two events where the deja vu seemed to project my consciousness ahead of my awareness by a significant portion, which is something I can, go to my books or I can elaborate about another time. It's not what we're talking about here, because the other side of the coin is not just about prescient, oracular, or prophetic dreams in a hard deja vu, but it's why are some dreams full of hidden meaning, which is kind of like the same answer, a timeless quality. And it goes on to say, can some of our dreams be glimpses of events taking place in an alternate reality or a parallel universe? Our ancestors were curious about dreams, and modern scientists today are as well. Ancient Greeks and Romans believed dreams provided messages from the gods. In ancient China, people treated dreams as a way to visit the world of the dead, which is another thing that dreams have in common. And a timeless quality, you can see people who are dead, and right away people will say, simple as that, they'll go, well, that was just a dream, without ever knowing what a dream is, because a dream is one of the highest mysteries. But they'll reduce it, they'll de-emphasize it into saying, it was just a dream, no matter how vivid the sign is, the omen, or the events, like how they point, they'll just pass it, as if it were unimportant.
I was watching something on Gaia television today, streaming old episodes of Open Mind.
Yeah.
And they were talking about dreams today, too.
It's a fascinating topic. I mean, that's why I zeroed in on this. Believe me, I was looking. It was desolation for a while.
And they were talking about lucid dreams. They were talking about...
I know a thing or two about that.
When you're sleeping, do you tell yourself in a dream that you're dreaming when you in that reality are actually in the dream?
Yeah, well...
It's like you say, hey, you're dreaming, when you in that reality is actually living in that reality at the time.
Well, that's the thing. I've been in a lucid dream state, and it's a legitimate thing. Basically, in the 70s, probably 60s and 70s, but I know definitely in the 70s they were working on different technologies. Um, I mean, they were exploring all manner of consciousness and awareness, for the purposes of weaponizing it, mostly. But a lucid dream is something that many cultures have experienced since prehistory. And in the 70s, they were able to engineer several devices and probably some sort of cocktails, drug cocktails, to bring lucid dreaming to the forefront, to make it easier to do. I have a piece of that dreaming technology sitting around the studio here somewhere. It's a dream maker mask. You wear this thing, and at night it brings on a lucid dream. It facilitates the process easily. I also have a book about lucid dreams, but it may be something to come back to because it's a very complicated topic. The notion, as the article suggests, that they could be pointing out to parallel universes is a fascinating concept, and it's one that I've heard before. And given the fact that we have an infinity of zeros and ones circling us in this wormhole, awareness, the potential of there being parallel universes, how are we able to say no? And the manner of the glimpsing into those universes, they do exist. It's not impossible.
See, it's like we're going in from one reality to another.
Yes.
So it's very possible that in those realities, we could actually bend the rules of what is known in this reality.
Well, perhaps. I mean, if the dream informs your waking life, then what you're saying is well within the realm of possibility. Because a glimpse from that other place would bring knowledge, and it could change your course of action. Like, not so much seeing the future event, because that would definitely do it.
Yeah.
But the other half of what the article says about glimpsing an alternative.
Let's just say, for example, this is what I heard today on one of the shows.
Yeah.
They were saying, what if you were able to go through a wall in your dream? You could actually do that in a dream.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
No, lucid dreaming, that would be an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming, the main propulsion is flight. Like I've had 2 different lucid dreams where flight was the main objective.
Yeah.
Where actually no, more like 3 or 4. Because with me it's a flight simulator. I'm still learning how to. I can't bring on a lucid dream very easy. I need sleep. If I don't get sleep, I get very run down. And in order for you to have a lucid dreaming, at least in my experience, because I sleep deeply. And with lucid dreaming, I don't think that's helpful. The suggestion is that you're supposed to get up, you're supposed to set 2 alarm clocks. Alright? And the first alarm clock you wake up, and then the next alarm clock goes off like an hour later. And that's supposed to facilitate you getting into the lucid dream, because you go from wakefulness to sleep to wakefulness to sleep, and it does something with your pineal,
Third eye.
the third eye, certainly, and to a materialist, the pineal gland, because the pineal gland regulates, what is it, endorphins, dopamine, and the actual name of the hormone is eluding me at the moment, which, no real surprise. Melatonin, I think it's called. It regulates your sleeping cycle. And when you flood this through this process, it's supposed to bring on the lucid dream where you feel like you're woken in the dream.
I've had many dreams myself. Like, and I would say, just to add to what Ricky is saying, like, it's like you go